We have with us right now Mr. R.K. Goyal, MD at Kalyani Steels. Thank you very much, Mr. Goyal, for joining us here on NDTV Profit. It's always a pleasure to have you on this show. Firstly, your first reaction to finally the decision has come in on the MIP.
Good afternoon. First of all, it's a very welcome move. It was we were waiting for this since quite some time, and hopefully it will reduce the imports of most of the commodity products into the country. As far as we are concerned, engineering steels are not covered by this MIP, so Kalyani Steel in particular will not get affected by this move.
Okay, so your company is not likely to get impacted by this particular move. We'll talk about your company specifically, but as you mentioned that imports are expected to come down. But since we understand that this move is only for the next 6 months, but already companies have got huge inventory level at this point in time. So do you think again it's some sort of an uncertainty that it's going to bring, or probably in the long term we are likely to see some bit of an impact of this?
You see, simultaneously, investigation on anti-dumping is going on, and outcome of that will definitely be announced within the next 6 months. So, if this minimum import price is superseded by anti-dumping duty, then the continuity will be maintained.
Okay. Have you heard anything from the government side about this anti-dumping duty that you're talking about? How soon can we really see the announcement coming through, and how much of the quantum, if you have some details which you can share with us, that we can expect?
It's a very detailed process of investigation, and I'm sure it will take some time. By the time government arrives at any conclusion about the quantum of duty on various exporters to India, various countries who are exporting to India, so it will take some time. But eventually that is much more a sustainable process, and is generally applicable for 5 years. So it will be much better as compared to any short-term measures.
Okay, but considering what has the government done right now for the sector, do you think in the short term it is going to provide any relief to the companies here in India, or do you think it needs to be probably extended, the timeline, the overall duration needs to be extended? How do you really view the impact coming in of this particular move?
There are two things. One, we have to really see how effective this minimum import price issue will be. Like last time when the safeguard duty was imposed 20%, we did not find much impact of same. So as far as minimum import price part is concerned, we are yet to see. But we are hopeful that there will be definitely some advantage for hot rolled coils and all particular products where safeguard duty is already there.
All right. Can you also talk to us about, the kind of imports that you're really talking about, which are expected to come down? How soon can we see that? What is the trend right now as far as the global prices are concerned? How much of a difference really is it there right now?
You see, there are two things. One is right now all the LCs which were already opened, those imports will come in the country, which means at least for February and March, a lot of imports will continue, for which there are already financial commitments. And then we have to yet to see that how many more commitments for purchase of metal continues, and how much more LCs are open, and impact of that will be known sometime March end or April. Till then, we may not find much difference. But however, there will be very positive sentiment in the market with this regulation.
Right. And what's your view, sir, in terms of the prices? How soon do you really see some sort of an uptrend really coming into the prices, considering, this decision coming through for the entire sector? And because we also understand companies have got inventory, so actually to take benefit of what, the import duty has been announced today, they will have to make some changes as far as the pricing is concerned. What's the trend and the outlook do you see?
You see, there may be some correction in the prices, but over a period of next 1 month or so, and that will definitely benefit some of the large commodity steel producers for hot rolled coils, TMT bars and all.
And going forward, do you expect a price rise as well once this starts settling down and companies, they start changing their operations as per, what the duty has now been imposed?
There are two things. One is, first of all, we have to see how effective this minimum import price is. Number two, definitely there will be advantage of volume, because almost 1 million ton of metal is coming into the country every month. If that goes down, definitely that advantage domestic industry will get. And in the process, some correction will be definitely there, because then you are not competing with the dumped material.
Right. Let's also now talk about your company, considering this move is definitely not going to help your company directly. What is really happening? How do you really see quarter really panning out, and how soon do you expect some sort of a turnaround coming in for your company?
You see, we have to see again the impact of MIP. And if now most of the commodity products which were getting imported till now, there is a substantial reduction in import, and that shifts much larger in engineering steels also. I'm sure government will consider imposing minimum import price on engineering steels also. That will definitely benefit us.
Okay. In terms of capacity in the company, where do you see it? Where does it stand? Have things become better compared to, say, how things really were 6 months ago?
No, things are worsening day by day. Capacity utilizations are going down, inventories are increasing, and we are really finding difficult to maintain what it was 6 months back.
What is the current capacity utilization, sir?
It is around 65 to 70% only.
And what's the view? I mean, is it because the China factor is playing here, or demand as well at the same time continues to remain very weak?
You see, as far as the demand in the country is concerned, it is by and large stable. The impact is basically because of the China factor, where they are selling material at ridiculously low prices.
All right. Also, since you mentioned about some price cut that we could see really coming through, could you give us an estimate in the next 1 month? What is it that we can expect from the sector in terms of prices?
It is very difficult to comment on that, because even if you reduce prices, you can't sell more, because there is a lot of material which is very, very cheap. And if you want to compete with that material, I don't think domestic industry is in a position to compete with that level of prices, and hence some price reduction will not help.
All right, Mr. Goyal, we'll leave it there, but appreciate you joining us here on NDTV Profit and helping us really understand the impact of this new minimum import price that has been imposed on about 173 products in the steel sector, and what does it really mean going forward. So we'll have to really see how that turnaround comes through, and an anti-dumping duty is something now that the industry is clearly be looking forward to.